What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and I try my best to keep politics out of this channel, which is really hard because I cover the news. And as you all know, politics finds a way to seep itself into every news story, basically. And as someone that covers the news, it's hard to ignore the number one news story in the world right now, which is the fact that it looks like Donald Trump will be arrested on Tuesday. Now, we've been hearing for years, like 8 or 9 years now, Donald Trump is going to be arrested for this. Donald Trump is going to be arrested for that. And I mean, it's almost nauseating and exhausting how much we have heard this, right? But Donald Trump himself released a statement earlier today acknowledging the fact that he will most likely be arrested on Tuesday. Now, as far as my personal political beliefs go, obviously I have my own beliefs. But if you really boil it down, if you really boil my beliefs down, for the most part, I believe that this two-party system is really like an illusion. I feel like both parties, both sides, they take turns pushing for some pretty radical stuff while the other side poses as opposition, when in reality they do nothing to stop these radical agendas from moving forward. And I believe both sides take turns doing it. I believe that both sides have an agenda, and both of those agendas are pretty much the same agenda. They just have a different way of going about it. One thing my grandfather told me when I was a child that has stuck with me my entire life, he told me that these politicians, they get on TV and they argue and they do all of this and they put on this show, political theater, if you will, and they fight and they bicker and they argue. Then at the end of the day, they all sit down and have dinner together. That's something my grandfather told me when I was really young. But it's something that has always stuck with me throughout my years, throughout my entire life. That what he told me, it always comes back to me. It's really simple what he said, but that's the reality of politics, if you ask me. Now, we do have some politicians out there that I believe are fighting for the cause that they say they're fighting for. But for the most part, they are here to sell you dreams and to sell you an illusion while trying to take control, if you will. But let's go ahead and read Donald Trump's statement. Our nation is now a third world and dying. The American dream is dead. The radical left anarchists have stolen our presidential election and with it, the heart of our country. American patriots are being arrested and held in captivity like animals, while criminals and leftist thugs are allowed to roam the streets, killing and burning with no retribution. Millions are flooding through our open borders, many from prisons and mental institutions. Crime and inflation are destroying our very way of life. Now, illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which has allowed new records to be set in violent crime and whose leader is funded by George Soros, indicate that with no crime being able to be proven, and based on an old and fully debunked by numerous other prosecutors fairy tale, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest. Take our nation back. Then he goes on to say, it's time. We are a nation in steep decline, being led into World War III by a crooked politician who doesn't even know he's alive, but who is surrounded by evil and sinister people who, based on their actions on defunding the police, destroying our military, open borders, no voter ID, inflation, raising taxes, and much, much more, can only hate our now failing USA. We just can't allow this anymore. They're killing our nation as we sit back and watch. We must save America. Protest, protest, protest. Now, I have something to say here. I feel like this is something we should all agree upon, because I know I have a mixed audience. Some of you all are watching this video right now and you are at arms, you are upset with what is happening to President Trump. Other people watching this video are happy, they're cheering, they're glad that it's looking like Trump is going to be arrested. But here's one thing that I think we can all agree upon. Don't let this moment go to waste. And that's for everybody on both sides. Don't let this moment go to waste, because hear me out here. If they can arrest Trump for this, right? If they can arrest Trump for this, then what does that tell us? Anybody have an idea? If they can go after Trump for this and arrest Trump for this, then guess what else they can do? They can arrest everyone that was on Epstein's flight list. Right? I mean, if they're going after Trump and they're going to arrest Trump, then surely they could go after and arrest everyone on the flight list. That's my main takeaway from this. Like, oh, okay, so we're doing this now? We're doing this now, right? So if we're going to take it there, then let's really take it there, ladies and gentlemen. If we're going to arrest Trump for a misdemeanor, then, hey, let's arrest some of these politicians that were on the flight list, that were flying to private islands having sex with underage kids. Let's do it. If anything, and I know a lot of people are upset by this and a lot of people are happy about this, but if anything, let's come together in this moment. Because now we see, oh, politicians can be arrested. Presidential candidates can be arrested. So, I mean, obviously, these other powerful people can be too, right? So this should open up the door for that. I think all of us should come together in this moment, left and right. We should come together and demand that they arrest everyone on the flight list. Because if they can arrest Donald Trump for this misdemeanor, then they can arrest all of those people as well. And some of you all might be here like, Donald Trump's on the flight list too. Hey, if he is, then okay. Let's take out everybody on the flight list. Let's get them their charges. Let's open that investigation. Since they could spend a year and some change investigating Trump, spending millions upon millions of dollars to find him guilty of a misdemeanor, what about the flight list? Let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, all right, let's go. If we want to take it there, let's really take it there, people. But of course, that's not going to happen. Because these people don't really care about any of that stuff. They don't care about little kids and what was done to them on these private islands. They don't care about any of that. But this should show everyone that if they wanted to care, and if they wanted to take legal action, they could. They simply choose not to. But how is the world reacting to this? Elon Musk says that if this happens, Trump will be reelected in a landslide victory. A lot of people seem to believe that this will ensure Trump's victory. I'm not necessarily confident about that. I mean, if that's what you think, then fine. But I think this goes to show that there's going to be, or how can I put this? We are gearing up, and I've talked to you about this before, we're gearing up for the craziest, the most insane presidential election of our lifetime, of any time. We are headed for some very interesting times, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter what side you're on. We are headed to some very, very interesting times. So we got people like Elon Musk speaking out saying that this will ensure Trump's victory. And then we got people like Rob Reiner who are running around in Speedos throwing pool parties happy out of his mind that this is finally happening. But the main thing that I want to say here is this. I don't even know how to put it. I'm worried about the next few years in our country. I'm worried about the political divide that is within our country right now. Our country has never been this divided. Like, politics has always played a factor in our country, right? But never was there a time where I felt like each side was cutting off the other side almost fully. Like, you can't even have a conversation right now. There are people on both sides who saw that I made a video about Trump today, and they're going to rage out. Oh my God, how could you be against Trump? When I never said that I'm against Trump, I'm just promoting the news. Or, oh my God, how could you be for Trump? When I never said that I'm for Trump, I'm just reporting the news. But that's what's going to happen because both sides, and people on both sides, have been radicalized to the point that they can no longer have an adult conversation. Okay? And people are so sensitive that they can no longer have an adult conversation. People have grown more and more irrational with their politics. And it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. It's the same thing that goes with these weirdos who are promoting freaking drag queen shows for kids. They've been radicalized in their beliefs to the point that they're doing things that are insane. So, I'm not sure what's going to come of this. We're in for who knows what come Tuesday. What I will say is this. Let me close out the video by saying this. I think there's a reason why this news got out here kind of early. Make no mistake about it, the powers that be, mainstream media as well, they want chaos. They want protest in the streets. They want you to act out of character here. They didn't release this information early just for the heck of it. They released this information early because they want you all to mobilize. They want you all to come together and have a big protest in New York. They want you all to riot. They want you all to basically, how could I put this? They want you to sabotage yourselves. What they want here is they want another January 6th that they could rant about on the news for the next 6 years while claiming, oh my God, this is as bad as September the 11th and Pearl Harbor put together. Like, they want another event like that. They want another event like that heading into the next election cycle. So what's going to happen here is, I'm not sure what people are going to do, but I can tell you what they want you to do. You would think that these people don't want you to protest. We don't want you worried about Donald Trump. No, that's what they want. They want you all to come together, to go out to New York or to wherever. They want you to protest. They want you to riot. They want you to act the fool because they want to paint a certain narrative about you and about this whole situation. That is evident. That is blatantly obvious. They didn't let you know this information a week ahead of time for no reason. They put this out there so you all have time to formulate a plan, to come together, and to go do something possibly stupid to get yourselves locked up, to make yourself look worse, to make Donald Trump look worse, to make this whole situation look worse. Okay? I mean, let's just call it what it is. That's what this is. That's exactly what is happening here. They want you to get out there so they could have another January 6th on their hands, and that will be one of their main talking points in the next election. So all I will say here is, People, you can feel how you want to feel. You can do what you want to do. You can vote for who you want to vote for. Just do not let them trick you into doing something stupid. That's exactly what this is. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care who you vote for. The reality of this is they released this information at this time purposely because they want unrest. They want people to act crazy. They want to be able to formulate a new story and a new narrative around the response to this arrest. So all I will say is be careful. Be very careful out there, because you have no idea the forces that are at play here. And there will be people out there provoking you to do stupid stuff. It's happened before. It will happen again. And I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to wait and I'm going to watch and see what happens. Because at the very least, I think all of us, and like I said, this goes for everyone on the political spectrum, we all need to brace ourselves for this upcoming election period. Because we're going to see some wild stuff. We're going to see people in the streets protesting. We're going to see violence. We're going to see people lose their lives. And after whoever is elected, I mean, think about it. If Trump gets elected again, people are going to go wild. If Biden gets elected again, people are going to go wild. We've reached a boiling point in this country where I feel like the divide, it's wider than ever, and we're almost getting to the point of no return. Like, I don't see either side really seeing eye to eye anymore, which is something that we used to have. But like I said, we've gotten to the point where people are just completely shutting off other people because they may have a different belief system than them. And I think that's dangerous. And the future of this country is not so bright right now. Who knows what will come of this? I'll be here to talk about it all and to cover it all with you all. But like I said, embrace for the craziness. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Don't be down there arguing with everybody, please. But while you're down there, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And I'll talk to you all in the next video.